On today's episode, let's talk about casting spells underwater.
Welcome to Bards and Barrels. Hey, before we get into it, hit that subscribe button. All right, let's jump into this. Ross, can you use spells underwater? There's not really a rule on this one, so it's kind of up to the DM and table decision on how you're going to play it.
Yeah, I think this is one of those things where some homebrewing could come into effect, as potentially how strict you want to be at the table. At the end of the day, if you really want, if you really want to try to, govern this a little bit, it's going to boil down to spell components.
Everybody's favorite thing.
Everybody's favorite thing. And as you all know, the main spell components are somatic, verbal, and material. Let's go ahead and get rid of one right off the top. Somatic. The Karate Man, the ninja in the room,
Cast the spell. Throw your hands.
Doctor Strange over here.
Yeah.
Unless you're bound or restrained in some way, I don't really think that somatics are going to be a problem underwater. You can still move pretty freely, especially like fingers and hands. I don't think there'd be any problems there. Material components, well, let's be real. Not many tables use material components.
No.
It's kind of the redheaded stepchild out there where it exists. Some people use it. Some people don't. Actually, probably most people don't, to be honest with you, which leaves verbal components for us.
And that's where it gets a little tricky, because can you use words underwater? I mean, if you try and go into a pool or bathtub and shout, you can. But some people I've seen say that once you do that, you start to drown, or you use up a lot of your oxygen or half of your oxygen. So your time under the water goes down.
Yeah, I think that comes back to how strict do you want to play this, and I could certainly see that as being a restriction, unless you're like a race that can breathe underwater where you don't have anything to affect you in that way. Like if you fall off a boat or something, you're down there, like you're going to use that initial breath to cast the spell, and then you had to find a way to breathe, right? So I completely get that. If we're taking away kind of the other things to worry about, I think it boils down to the spell that you're casting. So it's like in most cases, a verbal component, you just need to hear it. So if you've ever been in a pool and you're underwater, you can absolutely hear yourself.
You just got to get the words out.
Yeah, and you can absolutely hear yourself do that. So I don't think you'd run into an issue there. The other case for this would be like in a vicious mockery spell where your target or your opponent needs to hear you.
But I believe with vicious mockery, they have to be able to hear you, but they don't have to understand you. So it could be all garbled mess, but that's all right. As long as they can hear something coming into their eardrums or whatever hearing system they use, it works on them.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, it's like when you're kids and you're in the pool and, you dive underwater and you yell, like you can never tell what the other person is saying, but you can absolutely hear them. And I think that's a perfect case for vicious mockery.
I think we still need to practice that more. I think we can figure it out.
It is summertime. Why not? We'll go check that out at the local pool one of these days. But let us know how this works at your table. How strict are you with it? How do you do this in your games? I think this would be an excellent thing to comment on this video about. So thanks for following along on today's video. If you want to check out the other content on our channel, it'd be great. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next episode.